Hey guys, I'm gonna try to make up for what I missed on Saturday when I said that I would do my first 8 minutes of randomness. So I'm gonna do that today. Even though what I'm doing today is technically not very different from what I normally do, but obviously, like I said, this is gonna just be me 8 minutes of doing whatever I feel like doing that week. Today I decided that, as you kind of know, that 8 minutes originally was a novel before I decided to do the web series. And I didn't get to finish the novel. I was posting it on Tumblr, and I got through, the third year, the fourth chapter of the third year, and I just bogged down and I couldn't finish it. But I decided to hit the summaries of. Basically, I decided that I wasn't gonna let anyone who somehow stumbled onto my story leave them hanging, and I was gonna basically sum up and explain everything that was gonna happen, because it really has nothing to do with web series, so I don't really care. All the storylines that I was gonna do in the novel are pretty much different from the web series, and if there is something, then it's not a big deal, because but in lieu of trying to explain all the chapters, which I can't really do in 8 minutes, I'm just gonna explain that the ending was probably gonna be like the craziest thing, and this is definitely not gonna be the ending for the web series. I can already tell you that, because it doesn't make sense. But this is also going to be a little bit of a spoiler if you never read it, like the novel. But I guess like in the web series, Sid, the main character in the novel, was with Paul, who I believe is also in the web series as Alexi, but basically, no, he's not with them in the novel, but so Sid's like the main character in the first year, just like Jim is in the first year also in the web series. But so his mentor Paul dies, just like how Alexi does, and I already spoiled that, so it's not really that big of a spoiler. But so, Sid goes through this phase, and you eventually find out, like, in the third year in Disney World, that he was cutting himself. He was pretty distraught at the time. And the ending was going to be crazy, because what happens is Sid has a falling out with everybody. He has a falling out with Emily. He has a falling out with Eleanor. The only friend he really has is Mary, who is tiny in the web series, so he does. So anyway, so what happens is he tries to reinvent himself by helping out Mary and her friends, the alternates in band, when they go to nationals at the end of the year, after he gets kicked out of band for fighting with Eleanor's boyfriend. But so what happens is the ending is he chases after what he thinks is Annie, who he sees at Nats. So he chases after in the airport, in the whole cliche chasing after the girl scene. He misses her, so he goes back home, sits in his spot, which I allude to a lot too in the novel. It's like a nice secluded beach. So he sits there and he thinks everything's wrong, everything is about to end, and God, it's crazy. Sorry. So what happens is He's sitting there and he's like, all sad. He's like, I lost Annie just like I lost Paul when he died in the first year. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do now? And last thing you see at the end of the 4th year, which I originally had an extra few years, but I decided I wasn't sure if I wanted to end it. I kind of wanted to end it after the 4th year, so it's kind of a cliffhanger, but it's kind of cool. So what happens is, sorry for being so suspenseful. So he sits there all sad, saying what he's supposed to do, and all you see is a big giant shadow come up behind him. You see Paul, and you see him say, "What do you think happened that night?" And you find out that, in a nutshell, ever since the first year, Sid's been imagining that Paul died, where in reality it was actually Annie. And every time you see her subsequently, she's a ghost. And it's cool because I was writing it where it hinted at it, because if you ever really read it again, you realize that he was the only one talking to her. She wasn't talking to anybody. No one acknowledged her except for Sid. So it was gonna be that crazy. It was gonna be like that moment where you're like, holy shit. And yeah. And then I realized that I didn't want to do that, and I didn't want to end it like that, I should say. In the sense that that's how the 4th year ended, and that's how almost every main character graduates. But I believe what I do is I was gonna have a 5th year with Mary and the new cast, kind of like a whole Saved by the Bell, and then you would find out that Sid goes to a mental institution and he comes back in the 6th year. And yeah, so that's how I was gonna end it. And you'll see everything up in my blog post on my Tumblr, which I'll put up below if you want to read it, and if you want to read the rest of the chapters that I put up before I stopped. And yeah, so this is almost 8 minutes. I'm coming up right now. This is how it's gonna go. Hopefully next time I figure out that I want to do, hopefully I figure out something else to do that's a little more exciting in 8 minutes. Till then.